David, earlier this afternoon, 70,000 people were predicted to be here at Grant Park to see Senator Barack Obama give a speech on that stage behind me. If you're walking around NC State's campus this week and you happen to run into somebody who's wearing an empty gun holster like this here, after all these months, all these weeks, all these hours of campaigning, the presidential election appears to come down to just a handful of states. And what to do about this? This is treated sewage or treated wastewater. Governor Perdue says some of that stimulus money could start rolling into North Carolina as early as this week. The City Plaza project is still under construction, but we should see what's behind these walls by the end of this year. Some 2 to 4 million people are expected to gather here to watch the swearing-in ceremony. They say these new handguns are far more effective. Just when firefighters think they have a handle on this thing, a strong gust of wind will pick up, embers will fly through the air, and it's making it very difficult for them. And that tornado ripped right through this community just a few miles off Interstate 40 in Forsyth County. And take a look at that house behind me. It was destroyed by winds up to 135 miles per hour. And can you believe that a mother and her 2 small children were inside that home as the walls came crashing down? And Pam, they survived the storm. It is described as the worst storm to hit the Triad in a decade.
Got calm and quiet, and then we could hear it coming.
When the 2 overnight tornadoes arrived, they gutted parts of Guilford and Forsyth counties.
It's just total chaos.
One man was killed in Greensboro after strong winds flipped his pickup truck. Business owners at the farmers market picked up the pieces after watching their product and spring profit blow away.
Thank God that I'm alive. Neither one of us got hurt. Material stuff can be replaced, so that's what's important.
The National Weather Service says funnel clouds plowed through the area, packing winds up to 135 miles per hour. There are about 100 homes in this Forsyth County community just off Fry Bridge Road, and you can see just about every single one of them were damaged by that storm. Some had their side paneling ripped off, others were blown completely off their foundation.
2/3 of this house is gone, and the other third of it fell on top of them.
Dave Parker's daughter and 2 grandchildren hid beneath a staircase as their home collapsed around them.
There was an area about 2.5 feet wide by about 1 foot high, and just long enough for them to get curled up inside of it.
She was pulled to safety by neighbors.
And she heard the neighbors out there, and so she started yelling, and they came and helped pull her out from under the rubble. And both of the boys are fine. She's fine. All 3 of the dogs are fine. The rest of it's just stuff.
2 inauguration tickets from Commissioner Lindy Brown, delivered pretty easily. There are times when a reporter can't help but become part of the story. There's a map that kind of goes with it of the area. Her name is Marjorie Young, a Zebulon native.
Thank you so much. I won't ever be able to repay this favor because I've been trying forever to get tickets. We're having like a reunion.
Right.
Because we came for the March on Washington, which was like 40-some years ago.
Martin Luther King.
Yes, yeah. And we met here.
Here she is again, ready to witness what so many have dreamed about since the Civil Rights Movement.
I just can't explain it. I am so happy for him.
Her reunion was made possible by Wake County Commissioner Lindy Brown. When Brown couldn't use these tickets, she asked us to make a special delivery.
Because I never met you. And you brought all the way from North Carolina.
Doesn't seem like such a far trip when compared to this historic journey.
The dream time. So now this is the dream coming true for me. And he wasn't able to see this, but this is what he was looking for. And things have changed a lot, not enough, but we're hoping for a good change.
David, I want to show you the origins of the smoke that you're seeing in Raleigh. Just beyond there, burning hundreds of yards and miles deep into this wildlife refuge. You can see that smoke. It's blowing through some of these farms in this area, all through halfway around the state into some of those Raleigh areas. There are hundreds of firefighters, including this crew from Goldsboro, out here trying to contain the fire. As you mentioned, we were out there with them earlier on the front lines, and this is what we saw. On the front lines of this firefight here in East North Carolina, it is tough and sometimes nasty work, and you can see why. Look at all this smoke still going from this fire. A lot of the fire is now burning underneath the ground. It is extremely hot and dirty out in this area. Firefighters sometimes have to spray water on these areas for hours at a time. They say it's necessary because they are trying their best to cool this area off. Of course, a lot of this smoke that we're seeing here in this wildlife refuge is the same smoke that you're seeing in Raleigh and parts of Greenville, just because of the way the wind has shifted. Of course, this fire started more than a week ago, about 11 days ago now, because of a lightning strike in this wildlife refuge. It is now burning through 3 counties, Hyde, Terrell, and Washington counties. There are more than 400 firefighters out here working to try to contain this fire. Right now, it's burned between 39,000 and 41,000 acres. Firefighters tell us if there is not a significant rainfall event soon, this fire could be burning for months. And firefighters tell us they were going to attempt what's called a burning off 20,000 additional acres to try to limit the amount of fuel that this fire had. But because of the weather conditions, they weren't able to do that today. They may do it during the next few days, and that obviously could mean more smoke for the entire state. Back to you.